Hey guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. So I want to give you an example of a Super Pixelcade LCD flush mount. So this is a custom LCD mount that I made for a customer. So I just wanted to show you how this works. So first of all, let's take a look at the back, just so you can see what the back looks like. This is the 28-inch version. There's also a 24-inch version as well, but this is a 28-inch. There's a whole separate guide on how to get the software up and running, but just since we're here, one thing I wanted to mention is it does come with this SD card, which is basically OS. There's a little Wi-Fi setup you need to do. See the instructions for that. Once you've done that, you can pull this card out here, flip it over like so, and then just pop it in to the bottom of the board here, and you'll feel it kind of click in there, just like that. So again, separate instructions for that, but just wanted to mention that while we were here. The other thing is, did get some questions on, can you get a Pixelcade Marquee without the Pixelcade system? So let's say, for example, that you're running Big Box, which has a built-in Marquee function. You're running on a PC, you have a secondary HDMI, then yes, you could not get the Pixelcade and then just simply unplug this guy, plug in your own HDMI, and away you go. So that is supported. When you order it, there's an option to do without Pixelcade. We take a little bit of money off if you do that. But of course, there's some Pixelcade features that you don't get. You'll just get very basic Marquee functionality, which for some people is okay. So that is an option. This is the back. There are two HDMIs here. We only use one. If for whatever reasons the board switches over to the secondary HDMI, then use the included remote control to switch it back. Normally that doesn't happen, but if it does, that's how you do it. So let's go ahead and flip it back over. And so again, this is a recessed mount. So that basically means that your Marquee area is tall enough that this whole thing will recess in, basically the monitor part. So flush mount, so it'll be flush. That's always the best way to go. And so see this diagram. In order to do that, you're going to have to add in your own 3/4 inch blocks that are recessed in 0.7 inches. So do that on all four sides of your Marquee space. And then this is basically going to recess in, and then you'll use the included wood screws. So these are your wood screws here. And then you'll notice on each side there's a hole. So right here, here, and then again on the other side. And so you're going to take those recessed, take these wood screws. First thing I would do is I would pre-drill the hole and then screw this in by hand with a screwdriver. Don't use a screw gun because then you might over tighten it, which is not needed. So once you've done that, so now pretend this is mounted in your Marquee, it's recessed. Then you're going to take the bezel, and on the bezel you'll notice that it has this marking here that says use this side matte. The other side is kind of this glossy black, which doesn't look that great. So what I recommend is always use the matte side and then take off the masking. So I'm not going to do it because this is a real life customer one, but you would take off the masking, get this nice matte finish, and then on the sides just line up the holes. I would also take this off first before I do it. This is just to protect the display. So let's set that aside. Go ahead and line up the holes here. Okay, and then use these thumb screws to look like that. There's a little included hex key tool here which you can use to make it a little bit easier to screw those in. You can also screw them in by hand too. It's up to you. And again, just hand tight. They don't need to be super tight. Typically include an extra screw. So in case you're wondering why there's an extra screw, if you're like me and tend to lose screws, I always like to have an extra screw for you. And so you'll just simply add the 4 screws, and that's pretty much it. So you are pretty much good to go. That's the mat cover. And again, this is a recessed flush mount Pixelcade LCD mount. This is the 20-inch version, but there's also a 24-inch version too. As always, thanks for watching.